Leonidas drops the stun and drops the full ult. Oh my goodness, look at the health bars. It's a quad kill.
Should find the kill. Lunara will clean up that fight. Oh my god, I can't believe it. It is going to be Soul Shield. You gotta be kidding me. And Raw to take the 3v1. Gets one. Looking for the second. Crispy is popping off. Crispy.
Blizzard make connect with 4 people.
Lady Ronin! Oh my goodness, what a chat!
Portrait
That was
synergy,
really
man.
good.
Get that.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. I am the Crushinator, and today I am here with Mockery. How you doing today, Mockery?
I am doing well. It has been far too long since we've had the opportunity to cast together. And you know, I don't know how long it's going to be till our next one. It's what? A whole 24 hours, something like that? You know, it's
like
just
that.
I just couldn't stay away from the casting, and I couldn't stay away from my good bud right here. I'm excited to get back into it with you, and excited to see some Dragonshire. I just posted my my official Mockery TV TM map tier list earlier today, and I believe I had Dragonshire as an A tier map. So what better choice to start out with than Towers of Doom or Infernal Shrines would be the only higher ranked choices. So this is a good one. Let's get this bread.
It should be good. Tonight we've got NGS Division E East semifinals. We're doing ReGen Rebel, the #1 seed, versus FF and the Pancakes at the #4 seed, looking to move into the Coastal Final. Looks like the teams are about ready to start, so let's go over to Map Select real quick and see what these bans are. Let's take a look here. Sky Temple and Cursed Hollow removed by ReGen Rebel. Praxis Holdout and Battlefield of Eternity banned by FF and the Pancakes, and we are starting off on Dragonshire. Let's jump into the draft.
So here on Dragonshire, one thing that I really like about this map is that it encourages a level of splitting, but you can still just as much build for 5-on-5. You really have a lot of options. It's kind of this nice blend, I think. I think Dragonshire just takes something from every other map. You know, you've got the element of point control for that top solo lane, but it's not necessarily as off on its own, just strictly one lane like you might have on Braxis. You know, those offlaners rotate out of top fairly often when you've got Dragonshire. You can play for the split push, you can play for the group, you can play for the full 5-on-5 bot. Whatever you want to do, the world is your oyster when it comes to this map. So it really allows us to get in here and just set the tone for this series. This best of...
Three.
Best of 3 series. I knew that. I was testing my compatriot here, Crushinator.
Dragonshire is indeed a map where you can get a clash of styles. See if one team wants to go for that split style, maybe some top lane visits, or maybe a little bit of 1-1-3 as a strat that sometimes tends to come out. But right now, looking at the opening bans, couple of mage bans and our Orphea Junkrat. Lucio hitting the ban board quite a bit recently, so that could be just a simple target ban, as these teams have a lot of info on each other.
Yeah, I can only imagine. You've had an entire season not only playing against each other, but seeing how your opponent plays against the rest of the division. At this point, if you've done your due diligence, which it sounds like they have, we know what we are each playing on each team right here. We know what we're comfortable with, and so we know what's got to get taken off the boards. This seems like 4 straight, just absolute comfort bans right here, target bans on what the opponents like to play. Because they're not super meta choices. I can say in my GM games we don't see a ton of Orphea bans, as we see Joe Rhaegar. Hey, it's feeling like last patch in here, Crush.
A little bit. I mean, Rhaegar definitely got taken down a little bit. We'll see if there's any difference in Mr. G's Rhaegar build. But of course, just having a cleanse tank or cleanse healer can be very powerful, as Anduin already picked up by ReGen Rebel. Johanna still doing just fine in the tank position. Still a little bit lacking in the engage potential, but walks up, clears the wave, and can do so safely. Across the way, ReGen Rebel, we're going to see a Chromie come on out from Crossman Pat. Possibly a pickup since the Tassadar ban, and Taco going for May versus Johanna.
Okay. So we got a little bit of zone control. That's what I think. When I think, what do Chromie and May have in common right here? Is if you just want to make one area hell for the other team, that is exactly what you do with Chromie and May. You've got the Blizzards, which by the way, I love the fact that Blizzard, the company, after printing an ice-focused character, Jaina, that has a W in a circle called Blizzard, decided to release another character that also has a circular blizzard on W, which isn't confusing at all. Thank you, Blizzard, for the Blizzard. Either way,
yeah,
Sonya
and
Vanguard.
there's just no other ice words available. We had to just triple blizz it up. Flurry. Obviously not a thing that could be done. As we see a Kel'Thuzad ban coming out from ReGen Rebel, going deep into the stats to pull out that one.
And with that, all we need, I believe, is an Arthas to show up, and that's all the ice characters being either picked or banned.
Trying to think if there's another ice base. No, I think that's I think you got it.
You've got that one Blaze skin. He's looking kind of icy.
Well, I mean, if we go into the skins, we might be here for a little bit. Gazebo Gazlo here for Courtney and Ziggy. We'll see. I'm assuming this is a Gazlo top lane, and Gazebo's going to be rotating here. But I know some teams have gone for a double bruiser setup on Dragonshire just to get that extra lane presence.
You're telling me that this Gazlo player is pronounced Ziggy.
That's what I heard in Coin Toss. I've been going with Zixchi, but I'd much rather say Ziggy.
I'd call him X, alright? You're lucky to get that.
Has he rearranged the whole game with his rugged sound? Because that's the only way I'm going to call it.
Beautiful. Is he going to give it to us? Does he know where the hood is at?
He does.
Regardless. Meow Meow Cats on the Diva and Syl on the Cassia.
Cassia May, you get the little bit of a blind combo there. So you get a little bit of power, and of course slowing people down to let Cassia catch up and get those autos can do some work. See what Stampy wants in this last spot. Oh, we're going with the Zeratul. Last pick, a great roamer here on Dragonshire.
And I gotta say, guys, I am a huge fan of this last pick Zeratul from Stampy. I myself am less than 10 minutes off of just playing a GMSL game of Zera. And I think that this is the perfect time to really pick it. When you are against an enemy team that has very little in the way of hard CC, you're talking fast hard CC, point and click preferably. Things like Uther and Varian and Brightwing are fantastic for getting him off your backline. And when you're against a team that has a dearth of options of dealing with you in the backline, as well as squishy backliners like Cassia and Chromie, and even Baby Diva once she gets out of that mech is absolutely a kill target. I think that this Zeratul is what I've got my eye on right here. Stampy, show me something good.
We'll see if Stampy can get back there. It looks like the team should be fairly decent at the anti-siege, the wave clear, that can help keep them in the game to the point where Zeratul really starts to come online. But looking at these two compositions, the Chromie is definitely an outlier for me on ReGen Rebel in terms of a hero that might just come in and take over the game. But the scaling of Nazebo Zeratul on the side of FF and the Pancakes could be scary as we approach those level 20s.
Yeah, I think that what you really touched on right there with this scaling is going to be just so huge for how these teams play the game. I'm looking for, if we recognize that that scaling is a threat from the right side, are we going to see perhaps some early game aggression? May I even say a camp invade, perhaps? That's something that I would love to see, to try and punish going so late game and say, hey, doesn't matter if you have a grade 16, a grade 20, you're not getting there, pal. We're going to run it down before then. But I honestly, I have yet to see these guys play, so what they pull out right here is as much a mystery for me as what we're going to see right here, but I would love to see some of that early game aggression.
We'll see what these teams can put out. We've got ReGen Rebel on the left, Meow Meow Cats on the Diva, Taco is playing May, Frostman Pat on the Chromie, Syl on Cassia, and Velaravia is on the Anduin. Who do we got on the right?
Over here on the right for the red team, we have Mr. G, like it nice and simple on the Rhaegar, Courtney on the Nazebo, Stampy bringing that Zeratul. I want to see what that does. Grumpy Kitten on the Johanna, and X on Gazlo. That's all you're gonna get.
We'll start things off with a little bit of a crash in the mid. I appear to be over encoding just a little bit here, so I might take some time. I might have to turn off the mockery cam for a moment. But we'll see the clash and we'll see the rotation here. Give me just a second to see if I can clear up that frame rate.
And over here in bot lane, Stampy getting in there, taking a little bit of damage. Grumpy Kitten also now below half HP. All of a sudden, both teams have all 4 members in bot lane for just a moment, but now an earlier rotation from red side. Siege Giants about to spawn, notably neither team on them just quite yet. Red team now securing prio in mid, blue team doing the same for bot, and we might see, I was about to say 2 ships passing, yeah, just about right there in the night. And a blue wave notably going unsoaked bottom for red side. Grumpy Kitten now going to pick that up. About half the wave turning into the pity globes right there, so a little bit of a missed opportunity. However, red does maintain a very, very slight XP lead that surely will be shored up as soon as that siege camp gets capped right there. I will also note that Stampy has particularly elected to go what looks like Q build for Zeratul right here. So expect to see some huge team fight potential after 16, but pre-16, maybe a little bit more passivity. Now both teams looking to keep their Siege Giants alive, but notably we do have 4 members of red side here bottom, with only 3 blue. So red side, I want to see some aggression, I want to see some protection, but Grumpy Kitten dropping so low in the meantime.
Grumpy Kitten able to get on out of there with their life as the waves do stop a lot of those skill shots from Chromie from going on through. The pits are activated here. Looks like we have a bit of a surge onto the middle, but Taco with enough health to push away Stampy and crew here. And we'll see. Looks like Diva's got the control on the top side for now. Zeratul's going to have to maintain presence in the mid.
I'm gonna say, just out of nowhere, all of a sudden, we can really see that early game power of blue side coming in as Courtney
Zebo
gets dropped.
Nice a charge in there by Syl to get that kill. Grumpy Kitten getting cut off as well. Will actually still get stunned there by the May Blizzard. Still going to try one more time. Gets the Q out, but Johanna a little bit more healthy. Will get away with that one.
X able to get that top shrine back, so no more of a permanent dragon threat in favor of blue side at the moment, but certainly taking advantage of the time that they have after this kill. And I gotta say, I love this right here, this push onto Buckford from blue side, already taking out the gate, a tower, a sidewall, and that remaining tower is dropping health quickly. And just the ability to push off of getting an advantage is such an underutilized skill by so many teams. So to see something like that right there, really to me says very good things about Blue's chances in this game right here. As Zeratul securing priority in the mid lane, certain to rotate soon, but what's going on bottom?
Wow, what an engage there by Taco. Courtney going to get caught once again there as Taco dropped a huge Blizzard icing combination. And now they're going to get an opportunity to move forward and continue their siege once again. Grumpy Kitten getting low. There's the icing in, but has the Iron Skin in order to move away there. And the pressure from ReGen Rebel in the early going, we're not even at the 4-minute mark yet, and they're putting pressure on the bottom fort.
Yeah, ReGen at this point to be able to contest these bruisers before 4 minutes had even passed getting started on this camp is extremely promising for their chances of potentially putting this game away before that late game scaling is able to be achieved. I felt like Johanna got in lane, backed, came back, and then had to back again immediately. Just the pressure is immense. Still going ahead picking up some more mana right there, and Diva contesting the top shrine. I gotta say, I think maybe a little bit more could have been done to keep this bruiser camp alive. There's a time stop, Taco stepping forward. They're just teasing us. There's a temporal sands, slowing sands.
The slowing sands come on out. They're going to trap Johanna for now, but there's the Iron Skin once again. Stampy moves forward, getting a little bit of damage in, but that Zeratul damage is still not terribly high at the moment. Right now, FF and the Pancakes, they've got to just make sure they get as much soak as they can and hang on till at least their level 10s come online before they can really start to fight back here.
And as much as we've been talking about ReGen able to secure this early game advantage, it hasn't materialized in the form of leading in any experience, only in that bot lane push. Bot lane is certainly the most important lane on Dragonshire. It's the lane that the vast majority of games should end through. There's Stampy blinking forward right into the faces of ReGen, taking a lot of damage in the meantime. Stampy!
Maybe over-aggressive. Oh no, Zeratul's going to go down. Now Rhaegar being chased out. Mr. G is on the run. Camp does go over to ReGen Rebel on the successful camp defense there. A chance taken, but doesn't pay off for FF and the Pancakes.
It's a quite aggressive move right there. I saw the wormhole pick, and I was waiting on Zeratul to hop right on out of there, but no, content to just stay. Now Taco, with the rotation onto X on top lane, X wanting to get that shrine back. Taco is here, looking for the icing, does push X into the stun, but it's going to be too far away. Wait a second.
Full commit here. Ice Wall comes out. Can D.Va catch up? One more auto? Woo! That's Gazlo going down. What a commitment, but they do get the kill.
Gotta say, intelligent Ice Wall usage often makes or breaks a Mei player. You're talking about, can you play Mei? Well, can you hit the icing combo? And can you hit your Ice Walls? And we just saw a demonstration of both of those right there from Taco in that top lane gank. You love the opportunistic rotation over the top. You love the execution of just the raw fundamentals of Mei gameplay. As we see Stampy walking up, oh, baiting out the Valkyrie, not going to connect. And red team backing off a little bit right here, icing coming out from Mei.
There's a light bomb combo onto Mr. G, who's thrown into the slowing sands once again. A VP is going to be dropped on everything, though. Here's the Gazlo combo, gathering him up. Rhaegar falls, but Syl and Velaravia are next to go down. What a turnaround there from FF and the Pancakes. Taco on the way out here. Stampy trying to get the last hit, but Mei gets behind the wall there. And there's those level 10 combos. FF and the Pancakes showing that they're not done just yet.
You love to see that teammate synergy, clear communication, and a bit of practice evident as well. In the VP Grav Bomb combo right there. What a way to turn around your Rhaegar getting caught as well with the well-timed rotation. You love to see it getting a little bit of that. Stampy setting forward for the wave clear. And now Grumpy Kitten, interestingly enough, contesting the top shrine. I'm not sure that Johanna can play for this, though.
D.Va is going to move around and get that mech bomb off. Going to force Grumpy Kitten to move back. Looks like D.Va going to be just down there. Taco going to ice on out of trouble in the bottom lane as Chromie trying to get those slowing sands in position. FF and the Pancakes, now they're getting some damage onto the wall, but Taco's got an ice wall engage.
Ice Wall just catching the back heel of Nazebo, but getting a big ancestral. There's the Valkyrie onto X, brings them into tower range for a brief moment. It's an absolute brawl, 4-on-4 bot lane. Taco the first to go down, and perhaps the only. Both teams trading a few hits right now. Surprisingly, both a bloody game, 9 kills so far, and an even game, 5 kills to 4. And I'm curious, what's going on with this off-lane Johanna main tank Gazlo right here? Is this the norm?
You know, I'm wondering if they just made a little bit of a switch because Gazlo wasn't having a good time up there, or they felt they needed that combo to get the bottom lane fights, but so far it's working out really, really well for FF and the Pancakes. But definitely not a traditional switch, but what can I say? The results are speaking for themselves right now.
If it works, it works. As we see now, Taco coming in for the flank, catches Mr. G with the ice wall, setting up the blizzard, the icing. It's beautiful. The damage onto Mr. G coming out. There's Stampy on the rotation. Valkyrie onto Zeratul. So many abilities getting back and forth. Still looking like they're gonna go down. There it is, right there. First kill.
Gets caught. Mr. G able to heal up. Stampy looking like they might go down in the middle of that fight, but blinked back to safety. Now FF and the Pancakes, they've got control of both shrines, but it looks like D.Va's about to take the top side back, so there will not be a dragon just yet.
We may see yet another fight break out in this bot lane. Over here looking at this, that's a big VP. No Gravo Bomb, though. It's not up yet for X. We're going to get the ice wall blocking. Oh, zombie wall blocking the icing from Taco. Stampy getting right on out of there. Grumpy on the flank, nice takes out Valley. Woo! And then Taco, a little bit of spiders.
FF and the Pancakes going to get their bottom camp rolling. Nice flank from Grumpy Kitten. They're losing a little bit of that soak, but Johanna going to go up and try to catch some of that. Meow Meow Cat's on the top side, and the D.Va might just take down this entire fort in the meantime. That is one of the downsides of FF and the Pancakes committing hard for these fights.
And as we talked about at the very start of this game, the scaling is just a ticking time bomb in this game. Zeratul's power spikes are around the corner, merely a half level away from Void Slash getting massive cooldown reduction and extra damage. Stampy and Meow Meow Cats trading blows in this top fort at the moment, looking for that shrine. Stampy gonna back off and let Meow Meow Cats get that top shrine. Meanwhile, the 4-man of blue side getting their siege camp And at the moment, they either need to fight right now or wait for 16.
Taco looks like they're going to try to go for it. Tries to cut off Courtney and does so effectively. Great placement, but the ice block is there for Nazebo to deny the stun. Now Grumpy Kitten is going to come up and round up 2. We'll see if there's a combo to be had here from FF and the Pancakes.
See, the 5th ice hero wasn't Arthas, it was Nazebo. Ice beats ice with the ice block right there. Taco stepping forward, a bit isolated, down level 16. Will get zombie walled into the pit, but it looks like FF and the Pancakes not trying to be too aggressive. There's Stampy on the VP. Icing very nearly went into the VP. Grab on combo, it's huge! Oh, Blessed Shield doesn't connect. Cassia dropping. Syl, wow, a timely leap of faith. Gonna go ahead and save Syl, cutting their losses a little bit on the side of ReGen to only 1 kill. And Dragon not going to be secured just yet, but I gotta say, if you are FF and the Pancakes, you are sitting pretty right now. This game is in your hands.
This combo looks very, very practiced on the side of FF and the Pancakes. Valerie going for a self-light bomb engage. Taco is going to catch with the long-range ice wall. Can still finish this kill on to X. There they get it. Wow. Really, really trusting on the side of ReGen Rebel to go for that engage, get those follow-ups for the rest of the team to catch up and find that kill.
Yeah, I gotta say, I love that as we're watching this series, it's clear that these teams play as a unit on both sides. The raw extent of just 4-on-4s and 5-on-5s should somewhat indicate that as well, but Anduin knew that he had the follow-up right there. He knew he could go for the aggressive light bomb play, and I need a shower has been called. Alrighty. This is a reminder to all of our CCL fans here in the chat. If you plan on attending the CCL LAN Grand Finals later this year, please take a shower before doing so. We see May coming in for the flank bot fort. Taco coming in, Blizzard icing onto Mr. G, who looks in danger. There's the kill.
The super sneak kill onto Rhaegar. Taco with the heavy flank, and now ReGen Rebel strike first, but they might be caught under this fort. Taco trying to move away. Meow Meow Cats going to be peeled for with the ice wall as we start to move on back here. And it looks like they do successfully disengage. I apologize for the frame issues, folks. I'm going to try to fix it after this game. I think the overload might be a little bit too much here, but we will get that sorted out after game number 1.
They had to nerf us in some way, folks. Me and Crush were unbeatable together, okay? They had to make it fair one way or another. As we see red control of the Dragons, despite having Rhaegar dead for a significant amount of time at this point. Stampy just sneaking away, slithering right out, as Zeratul is prone to doing. And at the moment, a look at perhaps this giant camp. Both teams nearby. A slight experience lead in favor of FF and the Pancakes. And now ReGen gonna pick up this bot shrine and end this eternal dragon threat that Red seem to have despite being down a player, as we see some rotations into each other right here in bot lane.
Taco looking for a way to engage here. Meow Meow Cats is cutting off the rest as Stampy laid the VP. Ice Wall is not going to connect there as the bomb comes out. Light Bomb finds one stun onto Grumpy Kitty. There comes the Ancestral Healing onto X. Meow Meow Cats being grouped up as we see Anduin trying to move away. Diva Mech down, Anduin down. Meow Meow Cats trying to build up that mech charge as Syl and Taco look like they're going to be able to get on out of there. FF and the Pancakes spend a lot of their ults, but they find that kill, and they might finally find themselves the first dragon of the game.
First Dragon Knight of the game, you know, level 19, super casual. And I gotta say, if
Unless
you go back...
Taco interrupts it, there it is.
If you go back and you watch that last team fight, it's the Stampy show, okay? Zeratul's in that backline. My only criticism is that Stampy left their backline too early and maybe could have greeted for a lot more kills. Regardless, Syl dropping down low. Stampy now going to secure the Dragon Knight in favor of FF and the Pancakes. Moving forward here, level 20 on the horizon for Red Team at the moment. And you know they got to be thinking about that as they siege this fort, and now, for the first time this game, a keep.
Mid-fort's going to fall. Dragon Knight's backing off for the meantime. A little bit surprising that they didn't want to continue forward there. But it looks like they want to head up to the top lane and possibly just open up the map entirely. Right now, Cassia and Chromie for ReGen Rebel remaining in the bottom lane, so this top fort seems like it's almost certainly going to be going down here.
Not one to get too froggy, too risky before getting that 20 advantage. Red side playing it a little safer, going for this top fort now. Leap of Faith used to drag Meow Meow Cats out of danger. And now red team still sieging up on this fort. 20 on the horizon, just around the corner. You know they want it. There it is. And I can't help but think that we're going to see the aggression dialed up just a little bit right here.
Dragon Knight trying to preserve some of that health. Still 20 seconds left on this objective. They do not get it. 20 is here for FF and the Pancakes. D.Va has broken off, so ReGen Rebel have to be careful about their next engage. Zeratul going to be popping out of there and very likely looking for a quick VP. See if ReGen Rebel can hold in this moment.
You know, when the Dragon Knight breathes fire, it looks like a big Dorito.
Just a little bit, eh?
Yeah, you know, it's got some resemblances. Meow Meow Cat's in bot lane, looking to soak for level
looking.
20, but Stampy,
There it
there's the
is.
VP, 5v4.
Huge
Oh, it's
combo
huge.
onto 2. They're going to get caught there. Syl is low. That is going to be Frostman Pat down as well. Double kill for FF and the Pancakes. Taco's got an ice wall to peel on out of there. But that's 2 down. And we'll see what FF and the Pancakes can do with this advantage. It looks like they're going to try to rip a Bruiser camp. Right now, they're only pushed in lane as top, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to access any other keep. See if this Bruiser camp can help them out. Actually, oh yeah, Bruiser goes top. So they're not going to be able to take that mid.
That confused me for probably my first 3 straight years of playing Heroes of the Storm, I must confess, is that I always called that the mid Bruiser camp, because it's geographically closest to mid. But no, it's a massive bait. It goes top lane. So it's a forgivable mistake as we see FF and the Pancakes now pressuring this bot keep. Death timers are rather short at this point for ReGen. Gonna have their squad at full strength soon, but maybe not soon enough to save this keep as so much damage already pouring in. Velaravia trying to go in and launch that Chastise. The keep losing HP at very fast speeds. The spiders are too much to handle in addition to the gargantuan. Getting all 5 members, but not in time. Now FF backing off at this point. They know they've got a win condition available. They just need to get a couple picks, get some kind of advantage, and this game is in their hands.
ReGen Rebel going to grab their siege camp. FF and the Pancakes going to take the neutral Bruiser down here. We'll see if anyone's got a quick fight in them or if ReGen Rebel's just going to dance around the map a little bit here. FF and the Pancakes do have the initiative to be able to just move up and clear this away. Our next shrine is ready. Grumpy Kitten going to head on back and get that channel. But this could just be a slow push in the bottom lane if FF and the Pancakes wants to force something.
Honestly, I think it's at least worth exploring right there with the Bruiser camp plus a catapult, because if you even get 2 kills right there, which is totally reasonable off of the VP play, then that's just game. If you already have a Bruiser camp and a catapult, you get 2 kills. On a comp that's absolutely capable of getting it, it's game. Regardless, Taco stepping forward. No, Ice Swallow is thinking they might look at it as Grumpy Kitten is all the way in the top lane. Maybe ReGen a little bit unaware they have a 5v4 right here in mid lane. Hold on a second. There it is. The Ice Wall isolating Courtney and Stampy. There's the light bomb dodged by Ice Block, though. VP on the 2 members. Huge grab bomb, though.
Oh my goodness. Chromie is going to go down once again. There's Gaslow being pulled into the mix by the Valkyrie. Velaravia trying to move away, but is hit by the Johanna ult. Anduin is ultimately going to go down there. Syl being chased out next is going to be slowed and blinded. Meow Meow Cats goes down. Cassia is down. It's a quad kill for FF and the Pancakes. They've got a push in the bottom lane, and it looks like they're going to go for the victory, grabbing a Dragon Knight just to be sure.
And at this point, that is just a solid performance by FF and the Pancakes. Their team fighting, just so well executed, always able to capitalize off of those Void Prisons. I want to say we saw at least 4 or 5 different value Void Prisons this game. So not only is that indicative of some strong Zeratul play, but also some strong team play around those Zeratul. Good stuff, well executed game plan. You knew that they came into this with an idea of what they wanted to do, and that they just put that plan into motion beautifully. Love to see that teamwork on both sides right here. FF and the Pancakes executing exactly what they came in here to do. Do they run it back game 2 is my question, Crush.
We'll have to see. We'll see if that Zeratul makes it through the draft once again, as I'm trying to load the post-match. While we do that, I'm going to quickly call you back, because I think I have to turn off this video. I think that's what's causing my encoding overload.
Okay, yeah, I can just turn off my cam or whatever you need me to do.
I'll call back and we'll make it a voice call, and hopefully that helps. Just a second.
Sounds good.
All right, we are back here. All right, I've got the mockery icon. Good. Okay. Hopefully that makes things smoother. For some reason, my CPU is like right on the edge encoding wise, but hopefully that fixes it up and we get a nice smooth stream. Let's go over to the post match to see these stats and look at wow, look at the damage on that Nazebo.
Damage on the Nazebo just absolutely blowing everything else in this match out of the water. Their closest competitor being their own Gazlo, played by Ziggy over there. 31k hero damage behind. And I gotta think, did Courtney? I don't think Courtney even got any Dragon Knights, did they? Perhaps.
No, it
perhaps
was
one?
who got the mid one? Was it Gazlo? No, Zeratul got one, and then Johanna
Yes.
got one. Yeah.
Yeah, Johanna was about to capture the mid one. They got interrupted. Stampy came in and got it, and then Johanna got the game-finishing Dragon Knight right there. Although really the game
So
was
that's
done
just
at
all.
that point.
That's all straight up Nazebo damage. Courtney just kind of running
That's
the map
organic.
there. Very nicely done.
Yeah. I mean, a late game Nazebo, you're able to get that vial infection, you're gonna run up the stats. At that point, if you're able to get a situation like that, where you're consistently following up on your teammates setting up for you, you're scaling out of your mind, the game's going late enough, your stats should look like that as Nazebo. So very well done right there. Courtney had me a little bit worried with those quick 2 deaths to start the game, but as you can see, those are Courtney's only 2 deaths. So, you know, just sometimes you got to get a few ints out of the way at the start, you know, just to wake you up a little bit and be like, I'm getting punished. Okay, take a step back, mental reset, and it's clear just the resilience right there. You know, even if you take a few hits right at the start, you say, hey, we've got the late game. Just, you know, in the words of Udall, we have the late game. And one of the most well-optimized games on the market when it comes to CPU usage.
Oh, I know. It's so good. It's going to be funny when I get like a 4 generations upgraded CPU and it doesn't help. It's going to be so funny. But just a reminder, we are indeed going to Infernal Shrines after much hemming and hawing of the teams. But the draft is up. Let's jump on in.
Hey, Rocco, thank you for the raid right there. As we see so far simultaneous bans in Game 2, the map may have changed, but the prohibited heroes have not. Orphea is gone, Junkrat is gone. Are we going to see more of the same, or are they going to mix it up? Maybe a Zeratul? Who knows?
They might mix it up, but I mean, from what I know of the way teams prepare is they come in with a solid plan. They've got X number of games that they've researched against this team, and, you know, they're not really going to waver all that much, especially in the first bans. We might see a Zeratul mid. That might be a thing that comes on out, but I'd be very surprised if Tassadar is not the ban here from FF and the Pancakes.
Are we going to see more of the same? 4 for 4 identical bans.
Nope,
no,
they switched it for Sonya.
Mixing it up.
Sonya was mid-banned last game by FF, and the Pancakes is now front-banned. See if Tassadar is going to be sniped here by ReGen Rebel. First thing that's going to be sniped, though, is Johanna. Taco locking that up here.
Is this what we're doing now? Mid-bans, front bans? Is that a thing?
Early bans,
Nobody
mid
says
bans.
that, Crush. I've never heard anybody
You've never
say
heard a
that.
front ban?
No.
Come on now.
I do like it, though. I
Front
do
ban?
actually like it because first ban is a little ambiguous, right? And second ban, as ambiguous as a term, because, like, second ban could mean the second phase of bans, it could mean the second ban. Regardless, the lack of the Tassadar ban, first ban,
It's a soft
showing
ban.
right here.
I've heard that one.
Ah.
The soft
Soft
ban
ban
by
is when
pick.
you pick it, right? Or when you make it
Yes.
unpickable.
Yeah, that's a way to go about it as well. The pseudo ban,
Yeah, because
like pseudo banning Diablo by picking Tychus. See if
Sure,
Tychus is
and
picked
it
up
was
here.
a-
Oh my goodness, they're both messing with each other's draft. Tassadar stolen, Gazlo and Johanna stolen. ReGen Rebel seeing if they're going to be able to pull off the Gazlo combo.
I would love to see them just absolutely hit the Uno reverse card right here and say, hey, that comp looks like fun. Let's run that.
I love that. The steal this comp in game number 2. I love that game. It gets so personal.
And I will say, as much as it would be amazing to see that Zeratul get pulled out, not everybody just has like a level 250 Zeratul in their back pocket.
That's true.
Like what they have on FF and the Pancakes. I snuck a look at Stampy's profile earlier, and it's clear he's got a preference right there. And I can't help but wonder if we're gonna see the ban right here. I feel like they gotta.
Based on how last game went, I mean, you could make an argument for Nazebo, but I mean, Zeratul is please ban. Uther ban. Ooh. Maybe they've spotted something in this draft from FF and the Pancakes that they don't want Uther to be a part of.
They don't want the AoE Divine Shield to counter their Grav Bomb combos. That's what's going on here, Crush. I got you.
You know what? That would be a pretty good counter.
You just have to make it the first 19 levels of the game. Maiev Kira.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. That is
a very different setup here.
Spicy 3-4.
Stampy gonna mix things up with a Maiev here. Courtney on the Kira. When I see these two heroes come on out, I feel like there's gonna be some 1v1s. I feel like Kira's gonna roam, try to get some picks. Maiev has the potential to have a nice combo with the Tassadar, with the Diablo. I'm not sure how Kira fits into it, to be honest, but maybe Kira's just your roam, your 1v1. Syl is going to counter this with a Lili to try to get some blinds out there, and Prostman Pat, bereft of Chromie and Tassadar, are going to try out the Mephisto.
You know, honestly, I like the Lili to an extent. I think it makes sense. You can blind the Maiev, Umbral Bind. Kira obviously doesn't really like to be blinded necessarily. It can limit the potential of going auto-attack Diablo, and the same thing with Archon from Tassadar. There's a lot of potential for Meow Meow Cats, who seems to be role-swapping. Or is this just offlane? Yeah, this is a second healer, so this is offlane, or not even offlane, Flex Lili, double support, hyper carry Mephisto.
ReGen Rebel are, they're pulling out all the stops here to try to save their tournament life right now. Stukov, Lili, and the Johanna. Oh, wow. I mean, they've got a lot of sustain on the point. Maybe their whole plan is to just win infinity objectives.
It is an interesting plan. I think it is extremely unorthodox, but I will say this. If your 4-man has 2 supports, you need to get some wave clear in there. You do have the Johanna. Mephisto, a little bit lacking as far as wave clear goes, especially if he opts for shielding with his W4 rather than cooldown reduction with his Spite at 4. So I just find the macro on the side of blue team right here to be a big question mark, and I want to see how that gets them through the early game. But before we get there, what's that blue team looking like, Crush?
ReGen Rebel on the left and the blue here for game number 2 as our frames look crisp and beautiful. Prostman Pat on the Mephisto, Bellaravia's on the Stukov, Syl on Gazlow, Meow Meow Cats is playing Lili, and Taco is on the Johanna.
And I say this every time that I co-cast on Crushinator's stream. I just cheat and I open the scoreboard whenever I'm not the guy running the camera.
Nice, right? As a co-caster, you just get to open the tab and everything's nice. I do it all the time. It's awesome.
I don't have to sit here and read anybody's names walking around. We have, going down the list, Mr. G bringing it to us on the Tassadar. Not healing this time. On the Deckard. Grumpy on Diablo. Stampy bringing it to us on Maiev. And Courtney on the Kira. A lot of melee on this comp right here, as in fact we only have one ranged character on the side of FF and the Pancakes. I feel like it's gonna be a little bit cramped, a little bit clumped in these team fights, Crush.
It's gonna be very brawly, which might favor the Mephisto a little bit if everyone's kind of standing in the same spot. Though everyone's standing in the same spot, also pretty good for Maiev, also pretty good for Deckard and Tassadar. There's going to be a ton of damage flying around between these two teams, and all of a sudden, double healers starting to make a little bit more sense to me.
I still find the macro to be a little bit questionable, but I would love to see how these teams pull it off. As now a Diablo combo onto Taco, but he knows that's a Johanna, and the Crusader does not fall so easily. Neither team starting one of the camps yet. Actually, we see the bot siege neutral camp right here, already getting started by FF and the Pancakes, and they are deleting this with all 4 members of their team, not even getting any minion waves before going for it. And blue team not even finishing, not even close to finishing their own siege camp yet. Massive macro advantage for red side, and you're still feeling like that double support making sense, Crush?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. In the moments where they are 5v5 on a shrine, I feel like ReGen Rebel might have an edge in the way they've set up their comp. However, this being the type of map that it is, you can get into situations where you don't ever get your 5v5. You can get stuck in side lanes. You can get stuck constantly behind on levels. And there's all sorts of things that can happen on Infernal Shrines where your team fight comp never really gets to team fight. So that could be the downfall of ReGen Rebel here. If we see great lane control here from FF and the Pancakes, if they don't take fights they don't have to, that could be their path to victory here.
I gotta say, one thing that I'm noting here is that neither team has gone for their bruiser camp, which is, to be honest, it's a little bit disappointing. This is definitely a map where pretty much every time that you can, you want to secure that camp before the objective. As we see, we are going to them just a decent bit late, but both teams do look like they're gonna get their bruiser camp as we have our first pause of the series. Let's go. The bar is 10 minutes away from my house, but my house is 45 minutes away from the bar. The difference is staggering. Hey! As we see FF and the Pancakes finishing the camp well ahead of ReGen. Now securing position on this first shrine. Now they've got it. Hold on, Taco coming in, getting booped up a little bit by Courtney. Prostman Pat getting that Mephisto damage. Courtney getting right in their faces of Velaravia. Wow. Jumping right in, zero fear. There's the task you. Stampy though, gotta jump out of there. Big damage onto them. They're gonna back off and probably hit that tap.
So far, looking like ReGen Rebel able to sustain a little bit better here, getting a lot of these minions down. There's Prostman Pat getting those resets once again. The tap and move in as Stampy trying to get some damage onto that backline. Velaravia going to put out the healing booger once again, but Maev just getting roasted there by Mephisto. Catching up a little bit, though, on the minions, though, is FF and the Pancakes. There's the engage onto the backline. Prostman Pat going to get out of trouble for now. All these health bars, they're so low, but no one's going down.
It's just the spread damage is so comical. Just everyone on both teams just taking their hits.
Oh my
Stampy
gosh.
jumping out yet again. First blood. Diablo
FF is
goes
close.
down.
They
It's
need
a
one
for
more.
one.
They just need one more hit. Now it's
They're both
39-39.
Oh!
ReGen Rebel, they managed to get the last two before FF and the Pancakes can get the one hit, but Mephisto and Gazlo both go down, so they're going to be a little bit light on this push. Though Diablo did fall, Deckard has to go back to base, Stampy's got no health, and these are just... I think these brawls are going to be very similar to that as the game goes on. It wasn't like a poke, we'll see how it is, try to engage. No, that was just like rock'em sock'em robots 5-on-5, everyone hitting everyone at the same time.
Well, I love that you went for the Rock'em Sock'em reference, because my mind was that this resembled the early days of boxing. I'm talking 1910s boxing, where you just got two dudes that just stand up and throw haymakers at each other until somebody loses.
They were both in there for like a full minute. That was pretty cool. I haven't seen a fight like that in a little bit. But look at this, bottom side camp once again taken early here by FF and the Pancakes. Still not thinking about an invade. They're going to push this camp forward, but ReGen Rebel with enough time to finish up their own siege camp in the mid.
Ooh, Meow Meow Cat's getting comboed by Grumpy Kitten, but without the wallbang and with such close proximity to towers, they're not really feeling too particularly threatened. And I gotta say, as much as I've had to say about the macro this game, Crush, the fact that FF and the Pancakes has opted for an offlane Kira means that their offlane does get out-macroed and out-rotated by Sill's Gazlo. So as much as the 4-man leans their way, hold on, here's a combo and a Prostman Pat gets yanked in, Shade and Mephisto gonna pull them right out. A whole lot of hubbub, a whole lot of damage getting traded back and forth, nobody getting dropped just quite yet. And FF and the Pancakes gonna retreat back to their siege camp now, as we see a heavy topside rotation all of a sudden from ReGen Rebels. Never mind taking it back. Courtney, they've got their eyes on you. What's going on here?
Hero rotating around is going to go into the silence zone, is starting to move on back. Nice trait to move on back with the grappling hook there. One thing to note, speaking of the Gazlo and Kira matchup, the bottom fort is already down. The Shaman camp taken earlier just took out the entire fort there, so Gazlo's rotation is going to be a little bit cut off. 10s are in, as it looks like we might have an engage in the mid. Stampy going into the back. Big Warden's Cage is only going to catch one, but that is Johanna putting up the falling sword as I disconnected
the falling
terrible
sword.
time.
Oh, and that's okay. Here we have the grab-o-bomb. I'm not sure if you guys can even see what I'm talking about, but that's okay. Both teams are trading damage. Nobody has gone down just quite yet. Grumpy Kitten jumping back into the action. Taco hit by the revolving sweep. Stampy right in the thick of things. Yanks first man back in.
Taco
huge force ball by Mr. G.
Trying to move back. Has the Iron Skin. Finally, Mephisto goes down. Velaravia is caught. I can't believe Taco stayed alive there, but only 2 kills off of another huge brawl there. Unfortunately, I had a slight disconnect in the middle of it, so we missed the big start of it. But FF and the Pancakes, they get the double kill, and now they're going for the Shaman Camp steal ahead of this shrine activating in the top lane.
Love this invade right here, but definitely need to get onto that objective sooner or later. Taco given vision, getting a little bit of dismounting right there as we see the complete counter push in the bot lane.
Yeah, Meow Cats and Syl have stepped on up, and they're going to just destroy this bottom fort with this extended wave. But objective is being booted up here by FF and the Pancakes, and they're going to be marching straight onto a keep wall unless ReGen Rebel can get up here very quickly.
And I gotta say, as much as I talked about with Kira as offlane just a moment ago, you can see right there that FF and the Pancakes definitely have a lot of ability to project power in the 4-man and in the team fight, but their ability to cover the rest of the map away from where their group is rather lacking. You don't have any kind of global, you don't have an offlaner with very high wave clear, and so now blue team able to go ahead and get bot fort and mid gate, but they definitely need to defend this keep. And I gotta say, this is still anybody's game at this point. Blue team has the potential to hit some very big plays right here, as we see yet another big brawl is just on the horizon right here. Syl jumping the Punisher over the wall. Stampy with the shade coming out, not gonna go for it just yet. Taco's in there, and so is the Durance.
Gravel Bomb combo comes on out. There's the counter ult from Diablo. Falling Sword is going to try to get Gazlo out, but the Punisher jumps in onto Syl. Gazlo gets hit by the Stay a While and Listen, healed up for a moment, but ultimately Gazlo's still going to go down. Warden's Cage making it difficult for Frostman, Pat, and Meow Cats to move in. Taco trying to drive away FF and the Pancakes there, but double stunned by the objective and by Kira. There's the swipes coming on out from Velaravia, and it looks like the bottom keep is going to be saved for the moment. Honestly surprising. I thought that keep was 100% going down.
Crushinator, you playing from Australia or something? This is the second time that you have referred to this as the bottom lane.
Oh, that was top
And I'm just wondering if maybe you need to turn your monitor up right, perhaps.
You know, maybe that's the problem. Maybe someone flipped it upside down on me. Total miss. That's okay. Top keep does still remain standing. Looks like ReGen Rebel going to go for their left side camp, and bottom camp once again. The confidence coming on out from FF and the Pancakes. Taco's going to check, but the bottom camp is taken extremely quickly there. And now Taco might be in a tough spot.
Taco does have Falling Sword, able to use it to save themselves, to go back in, actually. Now Taco very low in the backline, hitting that retreat, and somehow that turns into a kill in favor of ReGen, stepping forward to stay a while and listen, just going to hit Mephisto. Red team licking their wounds, trying to get on out of there. Courtney hit by the stun, but that is going to be all for this team fight. Blue team looking to utilize their short-term advantage, and we might see a mid-push onto this fort right here, opening up the map a little bit, especially before this next middle objective.
Gonna put some damage out here. It's hard to push into Deckard Cain, putting out those huge root zones, but the fort already so low, and the catapult, or the siege minions locked in, are going to help lock that down. And like you said, we do have an Arcane Punisher that's going to be coming up mid next. They got to get up here and clear the top lane, as there's a catapult pushing in, but it looks like Syl and Frostman Pat are on the way.
that the next Punisher will be Arcane. Am I exposing myself, or all the other GMs going to roast me? How do you have this info?
I can hover the map. Inactive Arcane Shrine. I don't think you get to see that as a player.
Yeah, I totally
do you get to
forgot
see
you
it
could
as a
do
player?
that. I don't know, to be honest. I feel like you can, and I'm just a scrub, to be honest with you.
I'm not sure. I feel like it might be an observer thing, but it's been a while since I've tried to do that as a player. Maybe I do, and I just don't remember it because it's so offhand. But
I need to be doing that, I guess. As we see the invade from FF and the Pancakes, no fear whatsoever, taking advantage of some slow rotations on the side of ReGen. And it looks like they're just gonna make out like bandits and get this bruiser camp and be able to have double camp, threatening a very weakened top keep that will necessitate a response. We see the rotation onto Syl. There's the grab a bomb, catching out this Diablo, losing about half his HP, but Diablo is a tanky lad. Very hard to finish off. Courtney with the stab onto Meow Meow Cats. Blue team forced to back off and save this top keep. And that is going to make it incredibly difficult to win this next middle objective.
Shrine is activated. Top lane is going to be cleaned out here by ReGen Rebel. They do have their 16s, just as FF and the Pancakes have gathered their own here. So we are going to have another even fight. FF and the Pancakes a little bit ahead on the minions. Taco going for a big old flank here. We'll see if we get another face mash on this point.
Stampy hopping right in right there. Veloravia getting the falling sword, helping them out a little bit. Grumpy Kitten taking some damage. So much stuff happening. Stay a while and listen, hitting everybody. Diablo just wilting in here. Will be the first kill of the game. And the lurking arm very well placed onto the Maya. Mr. G dropping very low in the back. 2 kills so far for the blue team in their favor. Revolving sweep by Courtney going back in, trying to get away. There's the grappling hook to escape. Diablo did have soul, so Diablo is back. This is only a 4-on-5 for the red team after the Diablo respawn. Courtney, though, completely out of mana. And Stampy and Grumpy Kitten kind of going on their own little mission right here as the Durance of Hatred fails to connect.
Still very even on minions. FF and the Pancake actually ahead here. Oh, Maiev gets caught on the top side. Grumpy Kitten was trying to peel away there. Now Courtney trying to step up and get the last couple hits. Another falling sword is going to catch Kir there, but Ziggy is throwing in those potions to try to sustain everyone. We're very, very close on the minions once again, but it looks like FF and the Pancakes are being driven away. Deckard trying to get some last hits, but that's Diablo going down. ReGen Rebel is going to grab themselves another Punisher, and the brawling is starting to work out here as we move into the late game.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly like we talked about, you know, the 5-on-5s are really just where double support shines and where Mephisto, specifically as a hero, shines. And so to be able to exert their will in such a way in that middle fight, very well executed by ReGen, who are seeking to tie this series up after dropping game 1. Punisher mid dropping very low, very quickly, so maybe not going to be able to get this keep right away as, hold on, we see
jump.
a very helpful John Cena jump.
That's Tassadar down. That's a huge Durance as well. Kira's going to be caught. Deckard Cain is trying to move it on back as we saw Stampy move in to try to gather him up, but that is mid-keep down. The objective is going to smite itself onto the core. Well, ReGen Rebel, they're just going to go try to win right now. Grumpy Kitten is being engaged onto, going to be stunned by Gazlo. There is the gravel bomb, going to pull Diablo back in. That's an extra kill. ReGen Rebel have peeled the core health, or the core shielding down, and they're going to go for the win.
This is just game right here. All 5 members of ReGen alive, evening up the series in a well-executed game 2. Gotta love it, man. I gotta say, I talked about game 1, and I feel like it's just kicking in again game 2. I love the ability of these teams to have a bit of a shaky early game and just not get rattled whatsoever. Sticking to the game plan, knowing what your strengths are as a team. For game 1, it was FF and the Pancakes knowing that they could fall back on that late game scaling. For game 2, it's ReGen knowing that they've got the 5-on-5s to look forward to down the line. And both teams just playing to the win condition that they set up in the draft. But at this point, no matter what happens, we only have one more game to decide who's going to advance in these Div E East playoffs right here. And after seeing these first 2 games, I have no idea which one of these teams is going to take it.
I mean, it was looking like FF and the Pancakes were cruising on through to a 2-0. But then all of a sudden, The ults started to kick in. The levels, ReGen Rebel, despite being down in kills, managing to just really manage their lanes properly. They go into the mid-fight with their level 16s online, and they just push to victory. What can I say? Very nicely executed and well-deserved chance at a game number 3 here for ReGen Rebel. Taking a look at the stats there, despite it being, you know, about as brawly as a game can get, only 14 kills that game, 9-5. See, Syl on the Gazlo was top hero damage, getting ahead of Taco on Johanna in the end there for ReGen Rebel. And Courtney on the Kira, mixing it up, getting nearly 47,000 hero damage.
And I mean, that's kind of just the norm for a double support team, is you're going to see a lot of fighting, because double support loves to fight, without necessarily a ton of kills either, because double support, you're not going to have as much damage pressure, and of course you're not going to be at as much risk of dying with having 2 healers able to bail you out. I will say though, looking at this scoreboard here, I'm noticing a very odd phenomenon as I look at the side of ReGen that I don't think I've really seen in many other teams. They have a very even spread of damage throughout their entire team. Their lowest damage dealt is the Lily by barely just a little bit, just barely lagging behind the Mephisto. And only 15k hero damage above that is Syl on the Gazlo. So a very even spread from about 29k to 43k, whereas you see a much more normal spread of damage done on the side of FF and the Pancakes, 14k for the Deckard, up to the incredibly high 47k for the Kira. And keep in mind, it's a lot harder to rack up the hero damage as these melee characters that don't really have a ton of poke, because you're...
Just to let you know where we're at, this is the first map pick of ReGen Rebel of this series. So FF and the Pancakes, will see what they'll be doing from the first pick position.
Hey Crush,
What's up, Mockery?
why couldn't the bicycle stand up by itself?
I don't know, Mockery. Why couldn't the bicycle stand up by itself?
Well, it was too tired. Ah, ba-dum.
There you go, Majesty.
I just came up with that one myself.
Oh, okay. All right. That's quite a
So-
coincidence.
That's a Mockery TV original. This guy copied Tomb of the
Travis.
Spider Queen. You know, I think it's Tomb. The Spider Queen. I think it's
I love saying
I
it like
think-
that. It's my favorite.
Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Tomb
Hey,
of the
I'm
Spider
walking in.
Queen.
I think of Tomb of the Spider Queen, and I think Wave Clear. All right.
That's right. I'll tell you what, Johanna's really gone back, and it was on FF and the Pancakes game number 1, ReGen Rebel game number 2. I imagine it's still going to be a pretty high priority pick for that reason.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if they're picking Johanna on the other maps, I can't help but feel like there's got to be some Johanna priority. Junkrat's gotten first ban both games. I would be amazed if that suddenly changed, unless a team was trying to pick it for themselves. Again, I want to see that Zeratul Stampede. They didn't ban it away game 2, and you guys lost. All right, that's all I'm saying. Okay, and then we see the Sonya banned
at the
out
top
right
of the
here.
list here again in game number 2.
100% ban rate so far. Third banned in game 2. Orphea going to be the first ban of ReGen all 3 games in a row right here. A little bit of continuity, not much mixing it up so far.
Orphea's got some, there's some wave clear potential there. And it is a map where Orphea can access, can dive forward and dive back with relative safety because of this, how small the lanes are. So the continuation of that ban does make some sense. FF and the Pancakes, we'll see what they're going to round up here. Still going with the Junkrat. Understandable.
Yeah, of course. If you're getting rid of Junkrat on the other maps, then of course you're going to get rid of Junkrat on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and especially that other option that we had, Alterac Pass. That's another map where Junkrat is highly contested. And I just think that as long as we saw that priority on the other maps, we 100% were going to see it. In game 3 right here, do we see the Lucio for a 3rd game in a row, not even hinting to mix it up at all, or do we see something different? Oh, there it is. There's the Johanna.
And Johanna. Okay. I understand it from the second pick. Johanna, I think 100% was going to get first picked by FF and the Pancakes. They are risking the Lucio. We'll see if FF wants that one. Oh, we've got more dad jokes. The chat's starting to pop off. Mr. G is going to steal that Tassadar first pick, though. What do we got here? Hung Fu. What genre are national anthems? Country. They're country genre. Jimmy Bob Joe
good.
Bob 1, a prolific dad joke sender. What do you get when you cross a dad joke with a rhetorical question?
That's not even a dad joke. That's just a joke. Where's the fatherhood?
The silence afterwards.
I say this, and I
drowning.
I submitted a whole ad.
That's right. Looking back at the draft, though, Taco going back to the May here, and Velaravia going to get our first Brightwing of the day. Grumpy Kitten going to respond, going back to the Diablo, and Ziggy will reprise the role on the Rhaegar. Ooh, you know what this right side comp is reminding me of? It's reminding me of an old school Bloodlust comp.
Bloodlust! I would love to see it, dude. Bloodlust is one of my favorite abilities in the entire game. And Crush, I'm putting you on the spot right here. As your caster, as your friend. Bloodlust sound, go! Alrighty, perfect. You love that energy. Thanks for not backing out of this one, buddy. As we see the Zeratul taking away game 3. No Zera for Stampy, but I want to see it now. Give us the
Still banning the Zeratul despite picking up the Brightwing. I think it still makes some sense. You don't want to tempt Stampy with the hero that pretty much took over game number 1. FF and the Pancakes going for a Diva ban here. Another bit of research, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, we did see the Diva picked up in game 1 by Meow Meow Cats right there. Maybe not wanting to see them reprise that role, I stole that word from you, in game 3. It's just too good, you know? Movie stars do it, why can't video game players do it too? So you see right here. Ooh, Zagara.
Beastrend coming in here for game number 3 on ReGen Rebel is going to show us some Zagara gameplay. That could be an offlane Zagara, or it could be a rotating one. Frostman Pat does get their hands on that Chromie that's been very safely guarded by FF and the Pancakes thus far. Let's see what Meow Meow Cats is going to bring in the last spot, but will FF and the Pancakes fulfill their Bloodlust destiny? They have another plan. Another plan would be totally valid. Kira can be a Bloodlust. Cassia could do Bloodlust as well. Looks like we got another offlane Kira on our hands.
Yeah, we see the reprisal of Courtney on the Kira right there.
Scale it back. Reel it back.
And I gotta say, when you're talking about this team that has Zagara and Chromie on the side of ReGen, you have a team that is really good at hitting buildings, okay? That's a double support.
Oh my goodness.
That is yet another double support draft. This is a map, Tomb of the Spider Queen, where this is a lot harder to induce 5-on-5 team fights than it was in Infernal Shrines. Infernal Shrines, you have the Shrine naturally grouping up both teams for the 5-on-5. The ability to force it, it's going to be a little bit tougher, I think, for ReGen in this game 3. But you never know. But I gotta say, if they get those objectives, and they can push down these buildings with the eternal push of the double healing and the poke and siege of Zagara Chromie, that could end up looking very scary for FF and the Pancakes, who have one hero that defends against pushes well in Tassadar. But this is game 3, man, and I haven't been able to tell what was about to happen in any of these games.
No,
so let's see what'll go on right here.
This is tough. This is a tough one to call. I like the siege potential here from ReGen Rebel. I like their ability to sit and siege and sustain themselves, but that is a lot of burst damage available from the side of FF and the Pancakes. I'm excited to see how this one goes. We are into the game here. Chair glue, I'll get that dad joke in just a moment, but first let's introduce our teams for the third game here. On the left in the blue, it's ReGen Rebel. Taco is on the May. Prostman Pat on the Chromie. Meow Meow Cats is on Brightwing. Velaravia is on the Uther. And we've got Beastrend coming on in on the Zagara.
And over here on the side of FF and the Pancakes, Stampy's bringing it to us on the Cassia. On the Rhaegar. Grumpy Kitten bringing it on the Diablo. I think I've said bringing it like 7 times this series.
Yeah.
Courtney reprising their role as the Kira. And Mr. G also reprising their role on the Star.
The reprising. Very much reprise. Very wow.
Both
Taco
teams
once
straight
again with a
damage.
very
Taco's in
aggressive
there.
icing play. Courtney stepping up, but is going to get stunned. There is the purge from Ziggy. Going to get Courtney on out of there and down to the bottom lane. And now the rotations will commence. Unfortunately, ReGen Rebel got to stick behind here and get these minions down. As May moving very far forward, may be caught by Grumpy Kitten.
Yeah, Taco trying to interfere with those rotations, but getting interfered with himself as we see Zizzles are taking a lot of damage. Stampy now backing off a bit. And both teams a little bit bruised, a little bit bloody, but nobody dead just yet. Beastrend and Courtney trading hits here in the bottom lane as well. Courtney taking some damage with Beastrend running low on mana. And really, Tomb of the Spider Queen in this early game, when I think about what makes a team good at this map, I think how good is your vision control? How good is your ability at playing the rotational game? That is really what dictates your early game on any map, but especially Tomb of the Spider Queen, which is such a small map. You have so many things to do in the early game, and you are in such close proximity to the enemy team right here. Velarabia and Prostman Pat taking out this bruiser camp for ReGen. Now Velarabia hitting that tap in the meantime, and rather than taking their own bruiser camp right away, we see FF and the Pancakes opting to 4-man this siege camp with the classic double silk mid-top Diablo. You know, it's a staple of Heroes of the Storm.
You know, as long as you're somewhat in the area, you can grab some of that XP. It's okay, it's all good. You see the crew just trying to step up here, maybe get a little bit of this creep cleared. Kira doesn't actually have any ability to clear away this creep, so we'll rely on the team to come on down and try to help that out. Looks like Mr. G doing some work there with the Q and the W. Help out Courtney a little bit there.
And then now Siege Giants pushing bottom for FF and the Pancakes, who still have their own bruiser camp available if they decide to take it anytime soon, perhaps after clearing the ReGen bruiser camp in this mid lane. Neither team quite even close to getting a turn in yet. Grumpy Kitten effectively just playing off lane this game though, as Courtney taking a decent bit of damage in this bot lane, forced to back off away from the Hydralisk, and some mid push going on here in favor of ReGen.
Stepping right up with this bruiser camp here. Rhaegar was in trouble for a moment, but got healed up and got back behind the gate there. Tassadar trying to get this cleared away, but is difficult until that wizard minion is down. Stampy trying to step up and clear as well, but a good portion of that wall was peeled away there by ReGen Rebel. Checking out our bottom lane matchup, Beastrend a little bit light on the mana stores once again, but has the range damage to push out Courtney. And we'll see, is there a tap available? I think Kira already tapped, so it's going to require Ziggy to come on down and put some heals out for Courtney.
Yeah, taking a look at Courtney, looks like they tapped about 40 seconds ago, about 80 seconds left on that tap. Grappling, hooking in, but taking a lot of damage. As it turns out, Meow Meow Cats did not leave the lane just quite yet. And this is the classic conundrum of the melee versus Zagara matchup. Zagara just able to poke you down all day, but once you're able to get on top of her, you know, just full all in, then she's extremely squishy and not quite able to do too much about it. But as we see, with the presence of the Brightwing, with the extremely short lane preventing Courtney from being able to step up, Courtney kind of getting bullied a little bit right here, not able to do too much into one of HOTS's oldest lane bullies of Zagara.
Beastrand able to drop off 9 there and start the Web Weaver wave here for ReGen Rebel. Crossman Pat trying to clear out the mid as we have a bit of an engage here on the top side. Taco just mixing it up and walking on back, and has been doing that very well on May today. Just being a nuisance to the side of FF and the Pancakes, and doing a great job on the flanks as well.
And now red side looking like they will focus the defense. I was going to say on top first, but no, they cycle over to mid. Rhaegar still bot lane with Courtney at the moment, so now blue side recognizing the distance of Rhaegar, now opting to go for this top lane push. Top lane is, of course, the lane that has the boss that will appear later in the game. It's actually going to spawn now if there was no objective at the 5-minute mark. And you always want to soften up the lane that has boss if possible, so this is a bit of a dream scenario for ReGen. able to soften up the lane most likely to be their win condition. As we see some fighting, Stampy able to avoid the blizzard despite the icing, walking away just fine. And now red side going for this clearing. Taco taking a bunch of damage. In the meantime, Polymorph goes out onto Stampy. But it looks like this will just be a dead Webweaver. No forts down this yet in the game.
Slowing Sands are online here for Frostman Pat, which doesn't peel away the armor of Cassia, but still Cassia not liking to stand still, or not being able to wander around quickly for terribly long there. Taco clearing up the mid once again. Grumpy Kitten going for the engage. Nice blind follow-up. There's the icing as, oh, Taco took in a big chunk of damage, but gets on back to safety. Courtney taking some pressure here in the bottom lane, but gets behind the wall. Those 25 gems, definitely don't want to be throwing those on the ground, so Courtney just going to try to stay safe behind that wall.
And even without those 25 gems being turned in, red side still easily having enough to secure it. And I gotta say, although Taco was able to evade the red side in that mid gank just now, hold on, there's a bot gank. Zing! No! Wow, a late first blood, 6.5 minutes into this game, taking out Rhaegar right as they would have loved to have his presence for this Webweaver push. What an unfortunate time to give up first blood.
So nice pressure there by ReGen Rebel. They grabbed the bottom camp. They noticed that Rhaegar was out in front of the gate, so they collapsed and found that kill. That is going to blunt the pressure of FF and the Pancakes quite a bit here. So the mid wall is already down. The rest of ReGen Rebel is going to try to clear this away. We'll see if Zag should be able to clear the bottom solo, may clear on the top solo. And it looks like this objective not going to get an awful lot done here for FF and the Pancakes.
Yeah, when you drop someone right as you're about to start pushing, it just gives the enemy team a free ticket to start clearing right away without too much worries, as Taco stepping forward while getting ganked by the Diablo. Hold on a second, Kira going down in the bot lane at the same time.
Wow,
and I thought we were going to see...
that's those 25 gems. Off they go.
Oh, you're right, losing those 25 gems is just disastrous on the side of FF and the Pancakes. Not too much materializing in terms of a big XP loss right here, but definitely some unfortunate situations. Here's a big flank coming in, though.
Diablo trying to find a pin. Beastrend has the movement speed, but is slowed there by the totem. Velaravia gets a huge Divine Hurricane, or Divine Storm off. It's not a Hurricane just yet, but now the Ball Lightning's going to come on out. Ice Wall cuts off Diablo for just a moment, and now May is going to draw the attention of FF and the Pancakes, but another great icing out, and Cassia is caught there. Gems are going to be picked up a little bit by Grumpy Kitten, but the chase is continuing. Courtney moving right in, but has the grappling hook to move away. Only a couple gems lost there, but it's looking like May is really starting to stymie FF and the Pancakes.
Ooh, that's a word. All right.
Bringing all the words today.
It was so unfortunate just to have Stampy get comboed and Grumpy Kitten go in at the very same time right there. A little bit of awkward positioning, good punish by the side of ReGen, who have far more gems in their arsenal, their inventory, over FF and the Pancakes. They want to start wielding that advantage if possible. I'm a little bit surprised to see no Bruiser Camp taken to help secure this, but I gotta say, there's 16 gems away at this point. Grumpy Kitten going in on Taco yet again. There's gonna be an Ice Wall hitting Diablo and Rhaegar. What can they do off of it?
There's the stun onto Rhaegar, but damage just can't get in range. Frostman Pat is trying to step up, but there is the Self-Ancestral from Rhaegar. Taco just living in the mix right now. Another Polymorph. And there is the stun from Uther once again, but Velaravia getting a little bit low here. That self-armor doing a good job of sustaining so far. Taco's got the icing again. Grumpy Kitten is going to heal up for a moment, still trying to walk on out, but the last auto is going to secure the kill onto Diablo, and that is a soul reset. ReGen Rebel now with 4 kills to 0, looking for their next turn-in.
ReGen Rebel just looking absolutely solid and finishing out this series as Courtney with a very short grappling hook. Not quite able to escape from Velaravia. The CC chaining is so huge.
Wave of
Hammer
lights.
of Justice into Polymorph is massive.
Mr. G and Grumpy Kitten are flanking here. There's the stun coming on out, though. This flank could turn into a gank. Taco not going to go for it, though, leading the team on back, trying to just drop off 5 more gems here. As their lanes are already pushed in, this is a great spot for ReGen Rebel. Waiting. Oh, they're going to tag the bottom camp. Nice macro sense there.
You love to see it when a team knows that, hey, these camps despawn during the objective, so why not start them right before we turn in, because they don't despawn if they're actively in combat, and let's go ahead and get every little bit of extra push that we can. And here we're going to see, despite this being a double support composition, again, they have pretty good siege and poke with the combination of the Zagara and the Chromie. At some point, these keeps are going to start being threatened, as we actually see a mid-fight starting to form, and remember, we do have Giants and Objective in that bottom lane, and there's an engage onto Stampy and a Divine Storm.
Stampy is caught in the corner, and Cassia's going to go down. Courtney not able to get in range. These gems are looking to expire. Oh, Kira goes in, but is in the slowing sands, is going to get stunned as well. Polymorph comes on out, but there's the healing from Ziggy. Keeps Kira alive with those gems. Final Strike puts some damage on the backline, but not enough to find a kill here. Archon from Mr. G to try to clear out this objective. Good clear there, and that's going to force ReGen Rebel to move on back with only one kill.
I gotta say, so far the double support seems like it is ReGen Rebel's bread and butter. Dropping game 1 when you're not double support, game 2
going after
winning it in
Tassadar.
a strong fashion. There's Tass mid, Ancestral Healing
nice Ancestral.
is forced. And that's a win. That's a win if you're the side of ReGen Rebel right there, able to force that out. A lot of damage going up onto that top gate as well. With top gate out of the picture, any boss at this point is now a significant threat to end the game, and 16 looming. Things are looking rough for FF and the Pancakes. They need to make something happen, pick up their first kill, and get back in this game. The clock is ticking as we now see a bruiser invade from the side of ReGen Rebel.
16's not quite here, but there are 2 waves right on the doorstep if they need it. Looks like FF and the Pancakes, they were thinking about going after that boss. They thought that's where ReGen Rebel was, but no one home, and now the Bruiser camp is stolen. Level 16 is achieved, and now ReGen Rebel look like they might want to step up and snipe themselves this definitely bottom side keep.
Is it wild to say that maybe they could have just done the boss?
They probably could have forced it. I mean, the fights have been going the way of ReGen Rebel. There's 6-0 on the kills. This is, you know, the sneakier play, the more sure thing, though it's maybe less value, and maybe, you know, just having FF and the Pancakes feel like they had to fight on that boss may have ultimately come out ahead, but it looks like ReGen Rebel are just taking a slightly more conservative path forward here. They are a little bit short on this turn-in. They need a couple more waves to get there. And FF and the Pancakes, they do have enough for a turn-in. Zagara is going to spy the top turn-in with that creep, though, to make sure that the momentum is not slowed down.
And of course, this is a post-level 16 Zagara, who, after spending all game being a lane bully and a siege threat, now becomes a massive team fight threat as well, with that corrosive saliva, able to deal massive amount of percent damage, meaning that no one is safe on the side of the red team. Even Diablo is going to get shredded if he has to sit there and just tank a couple roaches and a Hydralisk in addition. 16 still not achieved yet on the side of FF and the Pancakes, but they've got it right there. No fight successfully forced for ReGen. I can't help but feel like maybe they wanted it quite before 16 because the game's still not completely secure yet, but it is looking good.
Looks like trying to move in with their 16s. It's FF and the Pancakes. Grumpy getting into the back. There's Velaravia stunning out the back line. APOC not going to connect there as Ziggy being chased out, forced to self-ancestral. Courtney trying to get Meow Meow Cats, but Brightwing survives. Now Stampy is being charged down by Chromie. That's the first kill of this engagement. Velaravia is being targeted down, though, by Mr. G. Uther is going to fall, so we got 1-for-1 for now, and this could be where Courtney starts to pop off. Kira trying to chase on forward.
Courtney stepping up is actually going to back off as we see Grumpy Kitten going in onto Beastrend. I think maybe a potential body block available after the flip there. Not pursued, however. Taco finishing off that turn in the top side. Diablo walking away while polymorphed. Taco looking for that mid clear, not quite going to go in for the flank onto the bot lane yet. Blue side feeling rather confident in their ability to pressure the end of this game. And as I mentioned towards the start of this, on the side of FF and the Pancakes, they have a single hero who is good at handling the base defense in this Tassadar. Everyone else is a little bit weak at projecting wave clear at range, so their ability to keep their base solid is definitely questionable here. I can't help but feel like yes, you need to clear the lanes, and you need to do that as soon as possible as FF here, but you also need to take this even talent to your fight before this game just completely is out of your hands.
Grumpy Kitten trying to step up here and get a little bit of clear. Ice Wall not going to connect there. Courtney able to slip away from the slowing sands. Keep is going to go down. ReGen Rebel, are they going to press on forward here? No, it looks like they're... Oh, Taco trying to go on in. Taco wants to move in for this fight. Grumpy Kitten waiting for an engage there, going to be stunned out by Velaravia. Now Taco's going in. They find the stun onto Courtney, but the damage is being cut out here by Stampy. Beastrand has to pop on out of there. Meow Meow Cat's being chased out by Cassia. A huge split here, but ReGen Rebel able to regroup and get on out of there and try to find their excuse me, try to find their level 20s.
There's the classic double support, whole lot of fighting, not a whole lot of dying. And now that is an excellent outcome for ReGen. They're just able to, at the moment, sort of coast into that level 20. At this point, you take the Siege Giant camp, you fall back, you take that Bruiser camp, you allow yourself to scale. I think fighting here is maybe the worst thing they can do. You can 100% give up this objective, but they're gonna go in. Ooh, there's the ice onto Kira, and here's the engage.
Cassia is slowed, and Cassia will go down. Taco is gonna ice into the back there. Velaravia putting the damage onto Mr. G. Tassadar with nowhere to go is going to get stunned. That's a double kill for ReGen Rebel. There is Diablo getting the soul reset. Courtney being chased out. Gets the booming kick to try to move away here. Meow Meow Cat's trying to catch up. If they can get Courtney here, they could have a shot at the core. Polymorph comes on out as well as the chase continues. Taco with an extra slow. Kira just desperately trying to move away, but Chromie gets in range. And that is the kill that they needed. Diablo with not enough souls to survive the engage will go down. They've got a camp, they've got catapults. ReGen Rebel is looking for the win.
This is absolutely game. I think that this is 100% an unlosable position, and as we see right here, Core just getting absolutely shredded. An excellent performance right here from ReGen Rebels. I can't help but wonder, after winning this series with the Gentleman's Sweep, just knocking that out in such stellar fashion, executing the team fights from start to finish, their team that they're going up against next has got to have their eye on this. They got to be thinking about, are we picking up an Ana? Are we picking up an Ana for the Bata Grenade? Are we picking up perhaps a Deckard for the Emerald, the healing counter? Maybe even a Malthael for that touch of death. This is a team that likes to play double support. We saw it right here. They lost game 1 without it. They won game 2 and 3 without it. If I'm the team that's going up against ReGen Rebels, I'm thinking this is what they do. This is their bread and butter. We need to handle it. That's definitely what's on the horizon, but of course, that's in the future. For right now, very well done, ReGen. Lovely series, wonderfully executed team fights, beautifully done, keeping their composure after dropping game 1. Way to close it out.
Very nicely executed there. Taking a look at the stats, Beastrand on the Zagara, top siege, top hero damage there. Just nicely played. Had the creep down all over the place, great vision. And just doing it up big there for ReGen Rebel. Stampy on the Cassia, getting ahead of Kira, played by Courtney in the end there. But the damage output was just very hard to come by for FF and the Pancakes when they were being locked out of the map like that.
I gotta say, Velaravia, what's this level 20 pick? Why are you expecting to die? That would be very counter to everything that happened before then.
Going for the redemption, the just in case everything goes wrong. Though it would have been cool to see. It would have been cool to see the Hurricane. I do like the Hurricane.
I am a divine Hurricane enjoyer. You know, here we have the redemption fan. You know, and then we have me, the Chad, divine Hurricane enjoyer for sure. I would have loved to see it. I will say though, with only death right here, only
crush. Oh, I gotta mute the stream. No offense.
Oh, good.
I can only handle so much mockery.
Yeah.
The double.
Wouldn't want to make a mockery of it. Ah!
I had to come and defend myself
because you used your name as a verb.
Mockery of me.
Adjective.
Adjective. The reprisal of the joke.
So Vela has come to defend the Uther talent.
I gotta turn mockery up. Hang on.
No need for Big Divine Storm. Tell me about the lack of Big Divine Storm.
Well, if you don't die, it doesn't do anything.
I
Okay.
took the talent where you can do the same talent that you just did again almost immediately, and then I have cooldown on the stun, so I can stun again for free, stun a third time,
Yeah,
and then
benediction.
Divine Storm. That's like 6 or 7 seconds of stun.
That's true.
Yeah, but you could have more stun.
No,
To be fair,
there's no need.
to be fair,
what's
when you
not
said what
cooking?
is this level 20, I was like, oh, she forgot to take it, didn't she?
Yeah, same. I was like, oh god, did I forget to take one?
I've definitely seen some of that, some level 21 talent picks, if you know what I mean.
We've had some level 20, level 13 talent picks.
Oh,
Whatever, man.
It's okay. It's okay. She's my wife. I can
Look,
survive the night probably.
None
Yeah.
of you guys know anything about this, okay? Like that. See,
I like Hurricane. I love Hurricane. I'm gonna message you something that I don't want to say it for the scouting report, but I'm gonna message you, Mockery.
No,
Okay,
I
okay.
do absolutely love Hurricane. It's usually my pick, but with the long timers at the end of the game, not dying, screwing up, but then not dying is just game changing. Like it's crazy.
it's a good talent. It's a good talent.
It's really a talent that you don't want to take unless you are afraid of dying. And this team like FF, they're so good at getting value that I was like, if I die and they get the objective at like level 24 or 25, then they can probably just push and win. So
But what if they don't kill you? Because I'm just brainstorming here. Let's imagine that we had the ability to make Divine Storm like twice as big, and then they all die. Like, I know that there's no way they would ever print a talent like that. It would be way too good.
I'm literally shaking in my boots because of how intense those matches were. Like, you do not even know the amount of anxiety that is like coursing through my body.
It was an intense. This was an intense match. It was super back and forth, especially going into game number 2. There, tell me about the draft philosophy. It seemed like the bans were pretty well set in stone through each draft, though there was a little bit of change there in the third draft in terms of making sure the Zeratul got banned away and whatnot. Did you feel like there was like from the jump? Did you feel like we're just going to stick with this set of bans no matter what, and then ended up altering a little bit, or was there a lot of discussion on how each draft sort of unfolded there?
So there was a lot of discussion until about for the past like 3 months. And then about 30 minutes before the draft, we're like, all right, this is what we're doing. And it just, and so we're not going to play them again in playoffs, right? This was the playoffs. So I feel a little bit more comfortable talking about our plan for the Pancakes. Which love the Pancakes. Much respect. They were in our first season. They were in the same division our first season. Playing them again. Super sweaty squad. Always a fun set to play. I don't know about watching. I feel bad for you guys because that game 3 was exactly the type of game that I hate casting because there was like 8 total kills until the very end. It's like, oh well, they're doing stuff, but not really.
You feel bad that we didn't get to see a lot of kills when you yourself picked the double support comp
every time.
You know what? But the plan. So Courtney is a really good Orphea, and while we knew that, we learned it the hard way when we played them in the regular season. And so that's also why we chose our Orphea portrait. Much love, Courtney. Really appreciate you. Great set, but couldn't let you have the Orphea. And then with the first pick, we wanted the opportunity to pick Joe. Whether or not we took that opportunity, we wanted the opportunity. And then with the second pick, we didn't have that opportunity, so we wanted to go ahead and get rid of that, which I think was what your question was.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable there, but like
because
obviously
that combo,
the big
the Joe, the Gazlo, just stupid.
Well, I mean, the game number 1 combo FF and the Pancakes were running there. The Zeratul Gazlo seemed to catch you a little bit off guard there on Dragonshire, but pulling it back with then 2 double support compositions. Is that something that, it feels like a back pocket strategy? Did you think that up on the fly? What was the reaction that had you move to that style for games 2 and 3?
Can I
We have
handle
a
this one, babe?
Sure.
We got some feedback from a dear friend of ours that we are chaos incarnate.
Okay.
I believe
And
it. I just saw it
that-
demonstrated.
Yeah, I mean
That-
that's the way to answer it. We have a 6-man roster in every map we draft with it.
Okay.
And so and
Yeah.
the flexibility out of our
It's
6-man
like,
roster.
if you're
Rather
ever
our
like, were
3-woman,
you-
3-man roster, because I do have the most beautiful team in NGS.
It's true.
The flexibility we
That's
have
the
is
dang truth.
brings a lot to be able to adjust to. And so we were like, we're gonna use all of our roster tonight. And so we did. The full hero depth, the full comp depth. It was yeah, we knew that we were coming into a tough match tonight.
Okay,
So I've
just
got a
ready to
question
pull out
for
all the
you.
stops. Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
Yes, sir.
So I brought this up a couple times throughout the series, but one thing that is an essential quality of a competitive team that you see teams all across the spectrum of skill handle this differently with different levels of success. And I'm talking about the ability to handle adversity, to handle just things going bad at the start and saying, "Hey, we got punched in the mouth game 1, but we fully believe in ourselves. We know we can take this game 2. We know we can take this game 3." I want to know, 100%, please be honest with me here. What's the environment like at the end of that tough game 1 loss? How are we bouncing back at an emotional, mental level? What's going on there?
I'm gonna be honest with you. If you have ever seen
Yeah.
our team play Storm League, then you know that is nothing out of the norm.
So to give you that full, this is actually a really good question. I don't think it will give any real scouting information, so I'm happy to answer that honestly. The first thing is we give everybody the opportunity to to not beat each other up, right? It's like, hey, if we like I've been concerned that I'm going to throw playoffs because I have the last 2 seasons, right? And like when I did, I knew what I did. When we make a mistake, most of the time you know what it is, so we don't dwell on it. It's okay to reference it as if it's a particular play, it's okay to reference it on how to do different, but you don't beat up the mistake, which is sometimes really hard to not do. So we took a few minutes and go to the bathroom, pour another glass of whiskey, hug all the fuzzy animals in the house, and reset and say, all right, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we expect them to do. This is what we expect they might do if they don't do this. And we planned our contingencies and we said, all right, we know what we did that game. That game is in the past. Here's what we're doing going forward. And yeah, so it's I'm blessed to have such a great group of people. This is the second season on the team, at least for everybody on the team, if not the third, which is the full life of the team is 3 seasons now. So everybody has a pretty good idea of how each other communicates and works. One of our players' love language is aggression, right? And so sometimes we use that to kind of get that wake up call that we need. And then it's like, all right, we know what we can do. We know what we did. Let's do what we can do and win the game.
Alrighty, yeah, you'd love to see that resilience, the ability to just bounce back after a tough loss and mix up the strategy. Say, hey, game 1 didn't work. We saw what they did game 2. We're going to ban out some of it. We're going to switch up the strat, and the results are clear. Good stuff right there. Very well done.
I know that was long-winded, but I hope that
No,
fully
we love
answered
it.
your
We love
question.
it. Trust me. We could sit here and talk all day. In the interest of continuing to ask questions that give no valuable scouting information to the next team, what are you guys planning on playing in your next series?
We plan on playing Hard Stuck Support Group.
Hard Stuck Support Group is going to be your opponent. They have upset 2 teams now from the 6th seed and moved on to the finals there.
So I've been talking to a random engineer, the captain, and he keeps messaging me, "We're coming for you, Rebel. We're coming for you, Rebel." I'm like,
my
whoa,
God.
we got like 2, 3, 4 weeks in between. Like, chill out. Like, I'm glad you think we're gonna make it that far in the playoffs, but like, we'll see you when we see you.
Well, here
Sometimes
you are.
when we're really scared, we just all swap roles. So it's like you can scout, but like good luck.
I think every player on the team has played a different role this season.
Yeah, it's
so
the,
like
it's the chaos. It should be called ReGen Chaos.
if it does to give you some insight on that, if it makes you feel better, Mockery, I did try to bully Prostman Pat into playing Tracer a couple of times, especially once I heard you were going to be
Well,
co-casting.
Our big thing is like, don't throw in draft. Don't throw in draft. So
Loxin Anduin.
I know that was an accident. He was like, hover off, and so I was like, okay. I clicked lock,
Oh no.
and then I cried, but it's fine.
Yeah,
That's when you
We're
pause
to
and
me.
beg for a redraft.
Yeah,
No.
I saw that
I
Anduin
thought about
Lycon
saying,
playing
hey, we
bot.
picked Baby Anduin, we picked Baby Joe, not Grown Up Joe. This was a misdraft, but technically it was locked, and I'd
Yeah.
I'd like to win that game, but at the same time, I feel bad with. It's the playoffs, right? Everything matters, and that choice was made, whether or not it was intentional, and we take it as a lesson learned instead, and I think we're better for it. But yeah, I mean, with the hover off, again, this doesn't really give away strategy. It's just what to expect when you cast us. I like to use the entire timer. And so even if I know what I'm going to pick, even if it takes till the last second, because we're thinking that far ahead.
Hmm.
And that gives us time to discuss it.
Understandable. Makes sense.
You love to see it. Thank you very much.
Well, we're going to be looking forward to seeing you in the finals. That'll be coming up in I believe next week.
Yeah.
You casting it, Crash?
We will have to see. We're going to see,
had
obviously
such a
when stuff is, when it's available, who can work what days, because I've got to make sure to get as much coverage as possible, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
'cause
really fun.
We've had such a strong season. I feel so much pressure for the playoffs. Like at least for the East side. Really excited to play Hardstuck support group. If by the grace of Alex Straza we make it through them and go on, the A team is such a good team on the West side that like I'll be happy with the East win, and we'll go from there.
We get enough points. Do we have to play them?
I'm afraid so.
I do believe you do. Yes.
I think that's the problem. If we get
No.
enough points, we do have to play them. If we don't get enough points, someone else has to play them.
My hoarding of points has backfired.
You heard it here first. You just have to lose next series. That's all you got to do.
Oh dear.
The biggest brain plays.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem.
Well, we look forward to seeing you in the East finals next week. Floor is yours for any final shout-outs you'd like to make.
Oh,
Go ahead,
yeah.
honey.
Shout out to my beautiful team, the most beautiful people in NGS. TM. And my husband. He's nice too.
Oh.
He's fine.
He's excluded from that
He's
group
okay.
of beautiful people.
He's all right, you know.
Everyone on my
You
team is
Mockery.
beautiful, and my husband's
Also,
here,
my
I guess.
husband. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's fine.
Well, first,
6.5 out of 10.
all right, honey, my turn.
Okay,
To you, Crush and Mockery, again, thank you so much for the pickup. Y'all are two of the biggest HOTS personalities that I know of, and so I'm really honored to have y'all casting. And I'm really looking forward to watching the VOD, especially during that game 3 with very few kills. I'm sure there's a lot of insight that I'm gonna get from y'all while y'all are talking about shit that's not us dying. And again, to the most beautiful team in NGS, ReGen Rebel singular. Although we are the Rebels as a group, the team is Rebel singular. It's okay, no one gets it right. But fantastic season so far. Looking forward to next week. Beautiful group of people and working through this season, along with ReGen and Murda, the founder of ReGen, giving me a home once I got involved in NGS, as well as Silver Arrow, our coach, for really helping us stay grounded and figuring out what the hell we're gonna do with ourselves before each game. And FF and the Pancakes, I said it earlier, but wonderful opponents. And I'm looking forward to probably another season of playing against them, because I imagine we're both going to end up in the same division again. And looking forward, last portion is Hardstuck support group. They've been seems like every interview I see them in, random engineer says, "Oh, Rebel, we're coming for you. We're coming for you." And so the point's finally landing, and we're pointing back now. Looking forward to that. And last but not least is my beautiful, wonderful healer and wife, Vel. She keeps me alive in the game. Apparently, sometimes with a little bit of help, but she also keeps me alive in real life. And so I appreciate her feeding me and making my lunch for work and stuff. So thank you so much, and that's my TED talk.
Fantastic. Taco, Vela, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the 2-1, and good luck next week.
Thank you, sir.
Mockery, I'll call